Hello everyone, welcome to JS Gigs and my name is Deepak. Here in this tutorial we are going to be talking about white label solution and also theming in your Angular application. Before we start, I would want to explain what white label solution is all about and also how to do a theming and what theming is all about. So in order to understand theming, let me just open material.angular.io, which is also a very popular website for Angular framework. It has a material design components available. If you look right here, you can see that you can actually choose multiple themes from this drop down. Like you can choose from magenta, cyan, and other colors, right? That's one. So essentially, what theming is that in case if you choose or if you wish to have multiple colors or different color combination, you can choose from this drop down, and this is called theming. You necessarily not have the theming drop down here, but then you may have a button or anything else for that matter. But then the idea behind theming is that you have different color, same application deployed once, but then you have different color options available to choose from, right? You can do dark and light, and this is something which is very popular lately. People tend to give dark and light theme in their websites, right? So that's called theming. Now let's talk about white label of the solution, which is a most important aspect, right? So let's just Google about the white label. So if you look right here, you would see that Google Gemini has given a definition of white labeling. So white labeling essentially means that it's the same business model where one company produces a product or service for another company to rebrand and sell their own. The term comes from the white label on the packaging that can be filled with the marketer's branding. So in this particular case, how can you fit this definition on Angular UI web application? So essentially, you would create your application once, and then you would give that application to multiple vendors, and then they can choose multiple themes, color, the branding, the logo, and everything, and in fact the fonts as well, right? So to give you an example of white labeling, the Shopify is a website which lets you launch your store in a short duration, right? So Shopify, if you come here, then Shopify has multiple pricing and solutions and templates to choose from. So if you choose multiple templates here or any template here, so what essentially happens is that in the background, Shopify has already created those websites for you, right? And then you choose any of the template, and then you fill in that particular template with your own images and your own product description and your own product. So essentially what happens is they have really white labeled their own template, and then multiple brands are using it. So let me quickly give you a demo of it. So here, if you look closely, you will see that the customizable templates. So free website designs to launch your store quickly and easily. You can see that all of these companies have made use of white labeling using Shopify and then launch their websites very quickly. So essentially, they don't really have to write the website from the ground up. They already have a template available. It's just that they rebrand it and launch it with different brands. For example, in case of Pajao.com or M, Caffeine and Nush and Yoga Bar and whatnot, right? So that's one. I'll give you another very popular example of white labeling, which is under the name of Uber Eats, right? So in Uber Eats, if you come to this particular section down over here, it has three options to provide from. So what really happens in this case is that you can choose any one of their platform and then can use the Uber Eats in your own websites. And then if you're using in your own website, you can actually brand it to your own way. So essentially, it will be the Uber Eats logic running in the background, but then you would be basically using it under your branding, and then it would look like your own brand, right? So that's how Uber Eats also functions. So if you come here in India, there are multiple other options also available. For an example, for the delivery partner like deliveries.com, and there are multiple other vendors available lately which have popped up in the market where you can use a white label solution to provide the delivery, or to provide the delivery option for your own e-commerce website or anything of that sort, right? So this is what white label is all about, right? So let me just quickly give you a recap. So white label essentially means that you would create an application once and then you would rebrand it to multiple brands, right? So you are not really required to create an application ground up. You already have a template available. You rebrand it to multiple vendors and then you deploy in your EC2s or in your cloud, and then that's how other people use it with your own branding. You would not really realize if it is a multi-brand, if it's the same application used as a multi-brand, right? So now, if you have been following along in my channel, you would be aware that I had built a few applications in the last 1 year, and then I've shown you tutorials, multiple tutorials like RxJS, and then plain Angular website, which I first built on Angular 17 last year, and with the tutorial of it is available here. So what I'm going to do this time is that I already have an application with me, and what I'm going to do is like I already have an application with me, and I'm going to be rebranding it and also providing you a theme, right? So if you come here, on my Miro. So now you can see that this application is something which you popularly would have seen in the RxJS tutorial. So this is based on Angular 18 and Angular 18 components. So you can see that this application renders here on the localhost 4200 login, and this is how it looks like. Now the same application with a different logo looks like this. Now if you closely monitor here, the logo of this JS Cakes is different from the logo provided here, right? The JS Cakes here. Right. So does that mean that I've built this application ground up in a different way? The answer is no, I have not. So what really changes? It's essentially the same application. It's just that the logo and the color theme look different, right? This is the brand. You can consider this is the one on the blue. The one on the blue is a brand 2, and the one in the yellow is a brand 1, and that's how it displays, right? So it's going to be a very interesting tutorial. And also I want to talk about a few other important. So there are a few prerequisite if you're reading this. So what are the prerequisites? So the prerequisite to understand this tutorial is that you need to have some basic understanding of the CSS variable. Some knowledge of SES is also required because we are going to be heavily using those, and we are also going to be making use of the CSS and SCSS variable to use and do multi-branding and theming. At the same time, some knowledge on the Angular build system is also required. However, I will give you a quick walkthrough of what are the components which would be changed and how you would be able to do that. And you would also need, some say you would also need some understanding around the Angular JSON to basically give you to understand, what really functions there, what really functions well there, right? And how they are differentiate and how they differentiate from with another and how they work. So basically I've started the application here, and you may also notice that I've also started the backend application here. So what I'm going to do is like I've started the first application, so I'll quickly give you a walkthrough of it. Local. So now you can see that the application built here or rendered here is on a blue color theme, and then also you may notice that the logo over here looks a lot different, right? And then now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to be starting the other application. So now you can see that the application which I built on brand 2 looks like this, right? So now it has come with a blue color. The earlier one was in the yellow color, right? So now you can understand that this is what essentially we are going to be building in this tutorial. So I'll quickly give you a recap of what is that we are going to be doing. So firstly, we have understood what white label solution is all about. We have also understood the themes because we have seen it in the material website. Also going to be showing right, and we are also going to be talking about the angular.json project, and also we are also going to be seeing what are the different aspects of angular.json that you must change in order to do the rebranding or do the theming. At the same time, we are also going to be talking about the SCSS and CSS variable, right? So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening and all that while. So I'm going to be disconnecting now, and I'm going to be seeing in the next tutorial where I'll explain a lot about the white label, and post that we will talk about the theming. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening in. If you have not really subscribed to my channel, please do so, and I'm going to be seeing you in the next one. Thanks.